Okay, so today is March 8th, Thursday, and today's opener is just going to review the lessons that we learned up to this point for fifth triad. The first three questions here are going to be converting, and then the last four questions are going to be over percent change, percent increase, a decrease, and solving word problems with percents. So let's take a look at the first three. It says answer each of the following. The first one here says convert 96% to a fraction. Who can convert a percent to a fraction? Darius Smith?
96 over 100.
Okay, so we're going to put 96 over 100 because percent is out of 100. And then fractions we always have to reduce. So what's 96 over 100 simplified to?
2.
Just 2?
Yeah, I did 2.
Okay, somebody help him out. 96 over 100 reduces to what?
0.96.
Nope.
Wait, what?
24.
24 over 25.
Oh, I think he's talking about.
Oh, you're saying you can reduce it by 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm like, how did you get 2 for that? I was concerned. My apologies. I misunderstood what you're saying. So what Darius was doing, he was going to go ahead and do it out by working it out instead of using his calculator to help him. So he was going to take 96 over 100 and divide both by 2. And then he was going to keep simplifying it that way until he got to the reduced answer of 24 over 25. Good. Did you get 24 over 25 as your final answer? Even better. All right, next one. We're going to convert this decimal here to a fraction. So I have 125. What place value is this? Thousands. So what's my denominator going to be, Rihanna? And then what's my numerator going to be? Okay. And just looking at these two numbers, what are they both divisible by? Yeah, they're both divisible by 5. When you use your calculator to reduce, what did you end up with, Rihanna?
1 over 8.
1 over 8. Everybody else get that? I'm trusting your answers here. Number 3. Number 3, we're going to convert a fraction to a decimal. And when we get our decimal, we're going to have to round it to the nearest thousand. So the first thing I need to know, Kelsey, is how to change a fraction to a decimal. So I'm going to take 5 divided by 11. And what did you get?
0.4545.
Repeating, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing we need to do is identify which number is in the thousands place value. So which number is in my thousands place value?
The second 4.
Good. The second 4. So I'm going to underline that, cross everything else out. Directly behind it is a 5. So is it 5 or greater?
Yeah.
So what happens to that 4, Kelsey?
It turns to 5.
So what's my final answer?
0.455,000.
Good. All right. So any questions on those first 3? Do we all have them down? Okay. Let's do the fun ones now. Word problems. All right, number 4. Answer each of the following. If a video game normally costs $39, but it's on sale for 30% off, how much will you pay if the tax is 9.1%? Haley?
Okay, first you want to put down 100%.
Okay.
Minus 30%.
Because it's discounted, good.
And then that would equal 7%. And you want to divide 7% to 100%.
By 100.
Sorry.
You're right.
And that would give you 0.7.
What's this number called? No?
Oh,
At least cough the right. Say it again.
multiply.
Multiplier, yeah. We're going to circle that, so we're going to use that. Okay, go ahead.
100% again.
Because we have to get our second multiplier, good.
We're going to add 9.1% because that's our tax. That'll give you 109.1%. And then you want to divide that by 100. And that will give you 1.091.
Excellent.
Then we have to take down $39. You want to parentheses 0.7. And then you want to
because we're going to multiply all three of those numbers together. Okay? When you multiply all three of those numbers together, what do you get?
29.7843.
29.7843.
Yep. And then you want to round that by the nearest 10.
Not the nearest tenth, because we're dealing with money, right? So the nearest
Fifth.
100, or the nearest cent. So what number is in the hundredth spot, or the nearest cent?
4. Third.
Nope. Think about, you're dealing with money. How many places past the decimal do you deal with when you're working with money?
8.
Yeah, the 8. Okay? So your final total price of the video game is going to end up being how much?
$29.78.
$20.78, because it does not round up. Good. Nice job. How many of you guys got that? How many of you guys got that to here, and then you just rounded incorrectly? How many of you guys didn't get it at all? It's okay. How many of you guys just didn't have time to even work it? Okay. All right. Do you all have it down now?
Yep.
Okay, let's take a look. Just out on your desk, I'll grab it just a second. Let's take a look at number 5. So number 5 and 6, they're going to go together here. Determine the percent change. So you're going from an original amount, 90, to a new amount, which is 71. So it kind of gives you a really big hint by saying determine the percent change. So it's telling you that you need the percent change notes. So in front of you guys, you should have the percent change notes. You're going to use the formula for percent change. So if you're going to use the formula for percent change, you might first want to identify your old number and your new number. What's your old number here? Say it again.
90.
And what's your new number?
71.
Okay. So Kelsey, why don't you go ahead and work this one out? Go ahead and tell me what my formula is going to be for percent change. What would I write down?
Percent sign and the change sign.
The triangle. Yeah, you can say the triangle, which means change. Okay, go ahead.
Equals 71 minus 90 divided by 90 times 100%.
Now, before you solve this, is this going to be an increase or a decrease? Yeah. Okay, so when you take 71 minus 90 equals, divided by 90 times 100%, what did you get?
Negative 21.111.
Okay, now the directions here tells me to round it to the nearest tenth of a percent. How many places behind the decimal for tenth? That's hundredth.
1.
1. I look directly behind it. Is that 5 or greater?
No.
Nope, so my answer is going to be
Negative
0.1.
21.1.
And then box it. Good. So you're showing that it's a decrease in a percent. You have your percent sign, you have your answer boxed. So that's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. I'm going to look to see that you have this for a point, this for a point. If you have to round, I want this for a point and the answer written correctly for a point. Okay, so that's where your points are going to come from tomorrow. If you don't have to round, then that question will only be worth 3 points. I'll grab it, don't worry about it. All right, let's look at number 6. Number 6, if a stock cost $32.14 last year and cost $38.85 this year, what is the percent change? So what is it asking us to find?
The percent.
Yeah, it's asking us to find the percent change. Right there is our hint of what notes we should use. What notes should we use? Percent change. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Before we start, we need to identify the old number and the new number. So what's my old number? Yeah, because it says it's from last year. That's my old number. My new number is going to be the number for this year. All right, who haven't I heard from? I'd like somebody to participate who I haven't heard from yet. Heard from you. I prefer not to call on people, but I will if necessary. Are you praying that I don't call on you?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Kinda.
Can you like answer some of it and then you can pass it along when you're done? You have to at least say like 2 things though.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. What's the first thing I write down now?
Percent, whatever the triangle thing is.
Okay.
Then I guess 38 and 0.85. Minus 32.14.
Okay.
And then divide 32.14 times
100 what?
percent.
Good. Which equals? Okay, let's see what you got. Did you guys get 20.87741133? That's what you guys got? Multiply it by 100, right? Is that what we got?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 20.87. Okay, now the direction tells us to round it to nearest 1/10 of a percent. So what number is in my 10th spot? The 8. Everything behind it I can drop. Now I look to the right of the 8. Is that 5 or bigger? So what happens to that 8 that's underlined? It goes to a 9. So how do I finish writing my answer here? Percent. Box it, and I heard it, the plus sign. Good. So all you guys had to do this time, you used the exact same formula. You just had to determine which is your old number and your new number based on the information that the word problem gave you. Okay, I'll give you a second to write it down. So the last problem that you guys have on your opener, number 7, you're going to use your Khan Academy notes. You will not be quizzed over this tomorrow. The quiz is just over percent change. So you're going to use the proportion for solving word problems with percents. So you're going to use the bottom proportion. So if you're playing cards, 3 out of 5 cards in your hand are red. So I know I'm going to need these numbers. 3 out of 5 cards are red. What percent of the cards are red? So what am I trying to find out? Okay, so if you remember, my proportion I'm going to use is percent over 100 equals part of the number over the whole number or the total number. So you guys just need to plug in the numbers where they belong. So if I'm trying to find the percent, do I know what the percent is? No. So I'm going to put P, and percent always goes over what number?
100.
Always goes over 100. Good. Then I have 2 numbers, 3 out of 5 cards. So if I have 5 cards in my hand, that's going to be my whole number or my part number? Whole number. So that would go on top or bottom? Okay. So then 3 is going to be my part number. So I'm going to find, I want to know if I have 3 out of the 5 cards, I want to know how many of those cards or what percent of those cards are red. So from here, after I write my proportion, what's my next step? So what's P times 5?
5p.
Thank you for saying 5P and not P5. Then I cross multiply 100 times 3 and get... Now, can I do 100 times 3 first? Yeah, it doesn't matter which way you cross multiply first. And now I'm left with the one-step equation. So I circle my variable, I draw my line. How do I get the P by itself? So 300 divided by 5. And what did I find? So make sure I put the percent sign behind it.